Christopher Columbus. The name echoes through history. He is celebrated as a hero, a visionary. He dared to dream of a new route to the east. This dream would change the world forever. But was it for better or for worse? Columbus wasn't always famous. He was born in Genoa, Italy in 1451. His life was ordinary then. He was a wool weaver's son. But Columbus yearned for adventure. He was fascinated by the sea. Columbus read about Marco Polo's travels. He studied maps and charts. He became convinced the world was round. He believed he could reach the east by sailing west. It was a radical idea, one that few believed. But Columbus held onto it with unwavering conviction. Columbus's early life shaped his ambition. From a young age, he was fascinated by the sea and the mysteries it held. He went to sea as a young man, eager to learn and explore the vast oceans. He learned to navigate by the stars, mastering the ancient art of celestial navigation. He experienced the power and unpredictability of the ocean, facing storms and rough seas. He sailed to different ports, trading goods and learning about diverse cultures and peoples. He heard stories of distant lands, tales of adventure and riches that fueled his imagination. These experiences fueled his desire to explore the unknown, to venture beyond the horizon. He dreamed of finding a new sea route to the east, a route that would open up new opportunities for trade. This route, he believed, would bring wealth and glory not only to himself, but also to the nation that supported him. Columbus needed funding for his ambitious expedition, and he knew he had to convince the right people. He approached King John II of Portugal, hoping to gain his support. The king rejected his proposal, deeming it too risky and uncertain. Undeterred by this setback, Columbus turned to Spain, determined to find a patron for his voyage. He presented his plan to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, the rulers of Spain. After years of pleading and presenting his case, his persistence finally paid off. The Spanish monarchs agreed to finance his voyage, seeing the potential benefits it could bring. They saw an opportunity to expand their empire and increase their wealth. Columbus promised them riches and new lands, a vision that captivated their imaginations. In 1492, his dream became a reality as he set sail on this historic journey. He set sail with 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, embarking on a voyage that would change the world forever. The journey was perilous. The ships were small and vulnerable. The crew faced storms, hunger, and disease. Many doubted they would ever reach their destination. But Columbus pressed on, driven by his unwavering belief. He faced mutinies from his crew. They were afraid, tired, and losing hope. Columbus used a combination of encouragement and threats to maintain control. He promised them riches and fame if they reached the Indies. He reminded them of the Queen and King's support for the mission. Weeks turned into months. Still, there was no sign of land. The crew grew increasingly restless. They demanded to turn back, but Columbus refused. He held firm to his belief that land was near. He urged his men to have faith. Finally, on October 12, 1492, their prayers were answered. A lookout on the Pinta spotted land. After over 2 months at sea, they had reached their destination, or so they thought. Columbus landed on an island in the Bahamas. He named it San Salvador, claiming it for Spain. He encountered the native people, the Taino. Columbus described them as peaceful and generous. He believed he had reached the East Indies. He called the natives Indians, a misnomer that persists to this day. He claimed their land for Spain. Columbus explored the Caribbean islands, searching for gold and spices. He established the first Spanish colony in the Americas. He called it Hispaniola, now Haiti and the Dominican Republic. He returned to Spain a hero. He brought back gold, parrots, and a few Taino people. Section 5. Voyages beyond the first. Columbus's first voyage was just the beginning. He made 3 more voyages to the New World. He explored more of the Caribbean islands. He reached the coast of South America. He established more colonies for Spain. Each voyage brought new discoveries, new encounters, and new challenges. He faced resistance from the indigenous populations. He faced internal conflicts and challenges in governing the new colonies. Columbus never found the riches of the East, but he opened up a new world to European exploration and exploitation. His voyages marked a turning point in history. They connected the continents of Europe and America, forever changing the course of human events. Section 6. The Columbian Exchange, a world transformed. Columbus's voyages triggered a global exchange of goods, plants, animals, and diseases. This exchange, known as the Columbian Exchange, had a profound impact on both hemispheres. From the Americas to Europe came new crops like potatoes, tomatoes, and corn. These crops revolutionized European agriculture and diet. Horses, cattle, and pigs were introduced to the Americas. These animals transformed the way of life for many indigenous people. However, the exchange had its dark side. European diseases, such as smallpox and measles, decimated the indigenous populations. These diseases spread rapidly, killing millions. Section 7. A legacy tarnished. Columbus's legacy is complex and controversial. He is credited with opening up the Americas to European exploration. But this exploration came at a terrible cost. His arrival in the New World led to the enslavement, exploitation, and genocide of indigenous people. Columbus himself participated in the enslavement of natives. He sent thousands back to Spain to be sold. He established a system of forced labor in the colonies. This system led to the deaths of countless indigenous people. He viewed the indigenous people as inferior. He saw them as obstacles to be overcome in his quest for gold and glory. His actions set a precedent for centuries of colonial exploitation and oppression. Section 8. The other side of the coin. Despite the horrors inflicted, it's important to remember the indigenous people's resilience. They resisted colonization. They fought back against their oppressors. They preserved their cultures and traditions. Their story is often overlooked in the dominant narrative of Columbus's discovery. But it's a story that deserves to be told. It's a story of survival, resistance, and the enduring spirit of a people. We must acknowledge the full impact of Columbus's voyages. We must recognize the perspectives of those who suffered as a result of his actions. Only then can we begin to understand the true legacy of Columbus. Section 9. Challenging the narrative. In recent years, there has been growing scrutiny of Columbus's legacy, with many questioning the long-held beliefs about his contributions. Many historians, activists, and indigenous groups have challenged the traditional narrative of Columbus as a hero, highlighting the darker aspects of his voyages. They argue that his actions, which include exploitation and violence, should not be celebrated. They call for a more nuanced and critical understanding of his impact on history, urging educational reforms. Some cities and states have replaced Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day, recognizing the importance of indigenous contributions. This shift reflects a growing awareness of the need to honor the histories and cultures of those who were here long before Columbus arrived, and to celebrate their resilience. The debate over Columbus's legacy is not about erasing history, but about re-examining it. It's about telling a more complete and truthful version of the past, one that includes all voices. It's about acknowledging the perspectives of those who have been marginalized and silenced for centuries. It's about understanding the past's lasting impact on the present and ensuring that future generations learn a balanced history. Section 10. Columbus Today. A Legacy Reconsidered. Columbus's legacy continues to be debated and re-evaluated, sparking conversations and controversies across the globe. His story is a reminder that history is not static, but rather a dynamic narrative that evolves over time. It is a living, breathing thing that is constantly being shaped and reshaped by new perspectives and interpretations, influenced by ongoing research and discoveries. As we grapple with the complexities of our past, we must strive to be honest and inclusive in our telling of history, ensuring that all voices are heard. We must acknowledge the harm that has been done, recognizing the suffering and injustices faced by indigenous communities. We must honor the resilience of those who have resisted oppression, celebrating their strength and perseverance. And we must work towards a future where all people are treated with dignity and respect, fostering a society built on equality and mutual understanding. The story of Christopher Columbus is not just about one man, but about the broader implications of his voyages. It's about the clash of cultures, the consequences of conquest, and the enduring struggle for justice and equality, themes that are still relevant today. It's a story that continues to resonate today, reminding us of the importance of critical thinking, empathy, and understanding in our ever-changing world, urging us to learn from the past to create a better future.